Yo, so today I've been sitting with the question that asks, how long are we willing to cope for? And I actually need to look up what coping actually means, but I had a conversation with my dad this morning, and he was telling me, obviously he's a skeptic about the choice I'm trying to make, and trying to convince me, as they all do. But it's more that his view was everybody kind of wakes up, goes to work, and they cope with whatever they need to cope with in order to get by, because every environment is stressful, blah blah blah, which I understand. I don't think I'm asking for a life void of stress, but the part where he said cope, I was like, I think one of the reasons that make certain environments toxic is actually how we are all coping with work. If we were coping with work, and it's that overlap of not having time to kind of be by yourself or do the things that actually replenish your soul, and kind of doing these things that numb you to cope with where you're at and not actually deal with it, And I think obviously as the series presents, it's probably a lot harder to deal with it, it's more work, more reflection, more discomfort dealing with it versus having to cope. Coping is I can come home after a shitty day at work and have a glass of wine and vent and feel better for the moment, and then I'm back at work the next day. But dealing with it is okay, I no longer want to be in this environment. I want to go to another environment. And then it's what does it take to move to another environment? Taking those steps, being uncomfortable, just, that part, bro. So, yeah, man, I've been kind of thinking about it, how long am I willing to cope for? I think coping is temporary, before it gets super toxic and violent and resentful. I can cope, but only for a short period of time. But yeah, this is how I cope. This is how I deal with shit, bro. Just nurture nature.